Although each scenario is made up of several elements, the process of creating each element and entering its options is essentially the same for each element type. There are individual video lessons for each of the element types, but this lesson will explore the basics of working with scenario elements. When a scenario is expanded in the scenario editor, you'll see a list of all the elements in the scenario grouped by element type. To edit an existing element, click on its name in the outline. The element will be loaded into the editing area of the page, where all the element's options will be displayed. Set the values for these options one at a time. Depending on the option, you can either type in a value, select a value from a drop-down list, or click an on-off switch. It should be noted that expanding or collapsing a scenario does not change the element currently being edited. The name of the scenario being edited is shown in parentheses in the editor title bar. If the scenario you are working on is expanded, the currently loaded element is highlighted in the outline. Any changes you make to an element will be automatically saved when you switch to another element or leave the editor page to go to any other page in the application. The values you enter in the element options are automatically validated as you enter them. If you enter a value that is inappropriate for the option, the field text will turn red and a short reminder of the expected values will be displayed. Make the appropriate change to clear the error. Please note that if you attempt to change to another element while there are errors in the form, you will be reminded to fix the errors and the current element will remain loaded in the editing area. Options that are mandatory are denoted by an asterisk. These values can be left blank while you're building the scenario, but must be filled in before the scenario calculations can be completed. To add a new element, find the element type that you want in the outline, then click the Add link next to the right of the element type name. The new element will be created and loaded into the editing form so you can define its options. Once the element is saved for the first time, it will appear in the scenario outline. To copy an existing element, click on the element to be copied to load it into the editor. Then click the Copy button to make a copy of that element. The new element will be added to the scenario outline and loaded into the editor. To delete an existing element, load it into the editor, then click the trash can icon in the editor. You'll be prompted to confirm the deletion. Prior to running the calculations for a scenario, OptiPlan will do a final review of all the elements you've created. If it finds any errors in your scenario, it will display a list of those errors divided into two categories. The critical errors are those that will prevent the calculations from being completed. Here are some examples of critical errors. You haven't entered an income amount for an income stream or annuity. You have entered an income or account start year that is after its ending year. You have a gap or an overlap in your expense ranges. The non-critical errors are element details that look like they might be incorrect, based on normally expected values. You should check these fields to ensure that your entries are correct, but you can leave the values as is if they are correct. Review the errors on the list, then toggle between the error list and the scenario editor to make any necessary adjustments. There are a couple more convenience features to note. When editing any scenario element, click the Next or Previous button to cycle through the elements in the outline. And the editor title bar always displays the element type, the element name, and the scenario name for the element being edited. The title has an added asterisk if you have made any changes since the element was loaded into the editor.